the preparation for the Valentine's Day special. Okay, so in the beginning of the year, literally, I made it a goal to match up to My Hero movie, because what happened is I had an obsession for this movie called My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, which came out the year before, so I'm like, literally, I'm gonna try and match it. Literally, it happened last year. I watched that movie over and over again, at least 4 times in theaters, and watched it a couple of times online, but I could never match it the first time why I watched it the first time. I was really, like, stoned out, and it was crazy. And I tried to replace the first time literally why I started high. I couldn't do it over and over and over again. So like literally that year went on to a whole bunch of cringy events, a whole bunch of people literally joining gangs where they shooting, a whole bunch of people flexing girlfriends they can't fuck and shit. And it literally came down to this year. So last year literally I got an establishment about literally fucking literally how cool I was as a person. We were already talking about Nas. We were already talking about the development of Nas and how Nas is gonna be made last year. But what we didn't go into like literally was the actual material of Nas and stuff. And this is all for Morgan. So gather with me, my fellow fake schizophrenia fans. Everybody's reading this playlist of this black guy with hot new manga. Literally, oh yeah, I like Teal, oh I like Bender. We're talking about this character, but we don't even see a single piece of the manga. And so I know that was the same thing going through Morgan's head every time he was watching. But the great outstanding thing about Morgan's community is that he understood that there wasn't a piece of manga. He understood that there wasn't even going to be a piece of manga until there was some professionalism. What if I told you that Morgan knew that when he read every single place? What if I told you that Morgan knew what real lore is? So literally, what you see is like what you get. So what he did was he took advantage of what you see is what you get. He's one of those people who go all out and being a nurse. And he really watched the Nas playlist hella times over and over again. Me, I see no point in watching the same anime video over and over again. But Morgan does. He does for a good reason, because that's how you get the benefits of really becoming a really great top tier membership. Like that's how you gain shit in the community. Morgan understands that it's crazy. Really, the more working for it, the more materials you gain, and then you don't have to do anything. You can sit back and watch Netflix shows basically. So if you do want to blow up on YouTube, Morgan, you hit somebody up like, yo, I already know how to talk, I already know how to do this and that, at least Lily, I want to get something popping up. Lily, there's a different reason why Morgan doesn't like Lily blow up on YouTube, and Lily, because he knows this community works. Lily, and that was the same thing with Akari. Akari has one video on YouTube, and you know why. And it was out there because literally Morgan, literally, he was watching video after video talking about the manga, but literally he was content with never even seeing a piece of manga. What if I told you that the cringe community conditioned Morgan so much to the point where he viewed everything as literally cringe. So he was literally rewatching the same Nas videos over and over again, not even caring if a single piece of manga comes out. So what did I do this year? I kept it a secret. I didn't tell Morgan, yo, are you excited for the first piece of manga? Literally, I let his mind be amazed. He has been watching their entire Nas playlist ever since last year. So if everybody wants to know what keeps me up, or at least what keeps me going in life, it's people like him, it's people like understanding fan base, it's Shinobi Striker. Literally, I understand how you're viewing it, so I don't care if I don't get to see my subs. I put in the work for video. I do it for my audience. I don't do it 100% for myself. I do want to have some emotional relief from time to time. Like I want to be able to read a funny comment. Like I want to be able to literally freely express my subs, freely express the fact that I'm a celebrity without losing the world. But at the time, you have to understand that it's COVID, and at the time that it does matter. It's starting to matter a whole lot more, I'm gonna say, for an exclusive interview. So literally, that's what keeps me up, literally, knowing that you're liking it, knowing that you're keeping up close. Whenever people try to tap my personal life, I kept this a secret from the gang, I kept it a secret everywhere. What keeps them going, and really, that's just one of them, so that I didn't even know, literally, that I know that's how they think specifically, that's how I go in, literally, that is how I do shit, literally, I got one receipt that I have more subs than I think, so what did I do? I started making content for other people instead of myself. So if you want to know, this is the personal life of the guy who made the Valentine's Day special, because this is a very springy special. Because last year what I did was I removed cringe from the pendulum. Do you know what cringe is? Cringe is like literally fucking a thought process, literally, when you're so cramped up for ideas and stuff like that, that your fucking face makes an expression literally with your eyes squint and stuff like that, because of so much thinking and calculation. It could be negative or positive, but literally, cringe is literally the amount of too much calculation, the blood pressure, literally fucking, it's when you're about to pop a blood because of how much thinking, how much cramming you're doing into that, which is very good, because that's exactly how you learn how to literally make a movie and stuff like that, by literally understanding that there's multiple steps to be took, and understand that there's multiple screenwriting. You have to take stuff out and rewrite it again over and over and over again. It makes sure a product like a movie is like viewable. You have to make sure you have to know what writing is, like literally, and cringe is perfect for that. Cringe is literally, because flow is like where you go off like doing whatever you want, and that's beautiful for fucking a first time see it. That's beautiful for a baby. A baby will love something with nothing but flow. But literally, when you have to grow up, you have to understand what you're doing has to have actual weight. So when you flow, it's so that you have to make sure like what you're doing has weight. So what if we learn how to do both? And here's how we get the Valentine's Day special. First, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising did a whole lot of things that you have to learn as a writer is keeping the viewer focused. You see how they did just enough just to keep you tight. The story wasn't too impactful. It was kind of cringy at point, but it wasn't anything wrong. But it was something that literally you can lead up to something you can't call out. Like literally, them casually talking throughout the movie, not saying anything funny, just casually talking, something that adults can appreciate. And out of nowhere, all this casual talking got really badass villain comes out. And then one of the best fight scenes in anime all time because they're all coming from like literally almost an hour and a half of casual talking. So what if I told you that literally I started off the Valentine's Day special the same way, but instead of casual talking, I put it in a setting that is more realistic, but at the same time, literally I made sure that casual talking was actually saying shit. Literally, I made sure that they were actually like holding weight. Like literally, I'm not gonna literally waste space in there. I understand that I'm hitting key points when I literally do something just enough to get by, so you can't call it out. Like, what's the whole purpose of him talking to this old lady? Oh, he's a hero. Oh, he's doing this and that. So he's just talking to an old lady to get by. We're still doing the drill, but why is it for so long? And I'm like, it's not like they're doing anything wrong. I'm like, yeah, well, literally, they could be doing something a whole lot more. And literally, that's the excuse we make. And literally, when you try to call them out, they fall back in the fight scene. Literally, that is the anime watchers kids, today's current generation. So none of that happened when I took over YouTube or I removed Christopher Pixel. You know how everything feels like a treat? So you know when you were watching cartoons when you were young, you were absorbing everything, or when you're watching a show and everything, you're absorbing everything. What Cringe did, it let you know that nothing in life had passion, that everything was about literally this, and that. Literally, why I say byway of the highway to the point where none of those things that keep you engaged like fucking matter anymore. Because the same thing that keeps you engaged or the same reason why you can't get to work. And Cringe is perfect for freaking literally learning about multitasking. Cringe is perfect for literally learning about what you want to do in life. Literally, it's perfect for a mind process to further your career. Like, I'm done like literally doing all these formulas. I've added this formula, I've added that formula, doing all this, but that's actually doing it for an actual benefit. If you try and make a career, Cringe is perfect because it will put you in that mind frame. It will make you stop and reconsider something when the other person's just going straight forward with flow ideas. That's how you literally end up putting what you want in the story instead of actually like literally making a story. Like you just putting what you want, and you can be inspired by what you want, but you have to craft it in some sort of rated or like literally being informative and impactful. So where am I getting with this? What if I told you that literally that the Valentine's Day special had a lot to do with the gang activity and the gang war I was in? Because what it did was, what does the gang member do when somebody's obviously stronger and they know that they outnumber him? They wait for his stress to build up. They failed last year for my stress to build up because I wasn't doing anything that was outside of my comfort zone. I didn't take a risk last year. The Valentine's Day special was the only time like where I actually got my hand down pen pencil and actually really got to run, especially because it was outside my muscle memory. So being God, it's been a long time here. So literally, I saw literally fucking at the beginning of this year, what do I do? I'm like, okay, so alright, so I'm going to go back to the old hood I used to hang out at. I'm gonna go to the dollar store, I'm gonna go to Walmart, I'm gonna kill the My Hero movie right here and there. So literally, I'm gonna start off this and that. Literally, I'm like, literally, I can do so much literally, but unfortunately, I'm in a situation where I can't really work out too much. I work faster when I work out. When I draw, like I drew Emerald, like Safari for a day. And that's only because I did my hunter workout. I did my cytometer before I did that. And literally, the Valentine's Day special, I couldn't because you know if you work out, it feels your blood pressure, it feels your hormones too, and it makes you want to prove certain things, right? So what if you worked out and you have to deal with your mom? You can't really afford to like deal with your mom arguing and stuff like that. And what if you're working hard in your comic book, dealing with the gang's bullshit, like literally dodging fucking bullets, like really fucking coming home, dealing with your mom bullshit, knowing your mom is gonna be inconsiderate, and literally every fucking thing you do for yourself, people try to hack the video game, Stone tries to fucking try to intimidate you or call every single other thing because now they see that you have something to work for. Now it's not just you uploading gameplay. Now it's just you not fucking using a fucking you talking, you putting a border so they putting a little gift there in order to keep us distracted. Not that like the A&V process. I've done like there's the A&V process and really fucking chopping and screwing you stuff. That processing, huh? This was the only time I actually had to sit down and concentrate on something, and the gang took full advantage of that. And so it's Stone. Stone knew I was like juggling shit that night, really juggling working on the Valentine's Day special, juggling dealing with my mom, juggling dealing with the fucking gang. But guess what he also do? I did all of those at a moderate rate in a realistic way where I didn't have to rely on exaggeration, while I couldn't rely on exaggeration. Like really, you know what was worse for Stone? Is that he knows that what I was doing held a whole lot more weight. you'll understand the year started off. So I started off with page 1, and they're like, what is he doing? And so that you should understand the sequences that this game did whenever I was making this fucking Valentine's special. I fucking loved this fucking, now that I think about it, I didn't like it because I had to go do it, but it's a beautiful story to tell you. What if I told you that this was the key to a gang member's message? What if I told you that even Armando played off of my manga? That he played off of watching me draw my comic book, and that he tried to apply it to a strategy, but he couldn't, because I could say you don't know how to draw, but I'm looking at this side naked eye, this shit looks pretty fucking fiery and shit like that, so I can't pinpoint you, because I know if I do that, fucking somebody's gonna call me gay and shit. That the exact opposite of the arrow. You see, street knowledge is like what gangsters know, that fucking anime fans know, is that they know how to be discreet, but they know how to be discreet in front of corners, and that they'll be reasonable in order to get a situation done, but they won't be reasonable in general. Like Lily, because that's why a gangster is a form of survival instead of showing off. So guess what happened? I started working on Valentine's Day special, and literally each and every fucking page I got feedback from the gang while I was doing it. I was getting even more feedback on Instagram from Christopher Sabat and Kazuku Cost. Like literally, so how did this year start off in general? It started off with me working on my manga, literally drinking water, going literally doing my Naruto ride the swings every day, talking to my girls, literally coming back, listening to music, completely sober. So the Valentine's Day special I made completely sober. So yes, it doesn't matter if you're high or sober, people. It's literally what you do at life. You see how I went all out with something, and literally I put exactly effort. That is what you do. Literally, this is where it's crazy as fuck. I love it. Literally, when I drew Ryuhi, literally, I went to my old Home Depot to go buy a pair of headphones, and I saw literally Norte, another gang member of the same game, an older one, literally at least in his 40s or late 30s and stuff like that, walking, and he let me know. I'm like, he's older, but he has a ponytail just like Ryuhi. Big ass Mexican thug wore a fucking ponytail. Literally, we're gonna be looking at his phone and shit, wearing a bright red shirt and stuff like that. Don't use phone again. I'm like, this guy can kick my ass. I'm like, is he trying to tell me something? And God's like, yes, you know he has your back. And like, literally, and guess what happened? That same place is the same place I got jumped. So literally, he told me, yeah, fucking, you don't have to deal with me because I'm the real one. Literally, those kids tried to recruit me to their squad like the other day, and I saw what you were doing. I'm like, I'll think about it, and then I'll let you know I'm with you right away. It was fucking beautiful. You don't know how many sequences that the Norte gang was looking at me. It's like, then all of a sudden, like literally, when you know with that one scene when Zap is getting down with that one girl, it's like, bruh, he's drawing this one shit that's trying to compete with that one movie and stuff, and all of a sudden this bitch starts twerking on him. It was a beautiful story, literally. I was doing my mind bullshit, like literally, right after I got done writing videos, like literally, talking to fucking get by, like literally, I heard you come from the North region. I heard they're really skilled at shit. Literally, we have great water where you come from. I also have a really nice butter. I just got done with our girl with my mom. It was really, really hectic, but guess what? Because I was sober, because I was dealing with multiple shit, it kept my mind at bay, and it gave me the exact opposite, literally, of what you guys were going through, literally. That's why they had to set me up for here, this, and there, and literally, it was crazy because I had to skip days, like, I had to literally draw 2 pages one day, skip a whole day, and literally, I'm on a time schedule, like, I'm trying to get this done before February 14th, so, fun fact, I was gonna literally give you the whole piece of the Valentine's Day special, literally within one day, but literally, I had to make sure it was on February 14th, because I didn't want to cheat myself, because I gave myself a time limit. I'm like, you have 1 month to beat the one My Hero movie. That's why I made that January. So I started writing the very first day of January, and I uploaded the exact day of Valentine's Day. I drew the whole thing before I uploaded it. Literally, I drew the whole thing before I uploaded it, but make sure I only upload part 1. Literally, spread it throughout February. Process was very rigorous because literally the gang was literally trying to get me, so every time I was done boots, I would come home and they would see this shit and that shit, and they would see like, yo, he's really working hard and shit. Literally, if he gets this shit through, it's over. So literally, it really was out there because here's the gang's input on that, literally, because after I uploaded literally the Valentine's Day special, after I uploaded like literally what I did to the gang and shit, literally, what happened was this. There was this thing where literally the Platinum Boys would leave doobies, like literally every single day I would upload something like good, right, literally? So I started uploading songs instead of A and B, so literally I'll try to contact them. That was right after, you know, the accident, but what happened before then, right? Literally, fucking, what happened, like, literally, when I was just getting doobies there in general, right? It was at the same spot, right? So guess what happened, literally? Fucking, they was talking to the drawer, right? And so literally, they were trying to play with my emotions like the era, right? So I posted the fucking 2 uploads, the fucking, literally, the My Hero, the Heroes Rising, and my Valentine's Day special. I uploaded whatever one day. So I applied it, and when I uploaded it, I tried looking for doobies, and they tried to get me back because there were no doobies right there, and I laughed at them because I knew I beat the My Hero movie, and they started fucking going off and stuff. Guess why I said that? It was like, oh, you know why they weren't doobies outside? Is because the last uploads were actually good, literally, and they started getting mad and stuff like that, literally, because I already knew they were being immature, literally, this, that, literally, I figured I knew what it was for and everything. So literally, they were evaluating it. So what happened to Armando? What was Armando's input of Valentine's Day special? He couldn't do shit. It was just another one of those things. He was still smacked by what I did to Ashley, what I did to his gang, how I was making them live, literally, why I was making them reconsider and stuff like that, literally. So guess what literally Armando did? And literally, so somebody told me, did you know that they hit you with a car specifically for the Lisa? I'm like, no, it had to be because I called out his gang. Like, no, it's because of the Lisa thing. I'm like, how can it be because of Lisa? Because the Valentine's Day special defeats anything that Lisa ever said. Lily, you understand? Like, Lily, this is real dating. This is how real fucking, like, shit works. Like, Lily, this is bullshit that Lily nerds clinged on to just because they did mother's tits to suck. Lily, this was crazy as fuck. Lily, this wasn't anything like Lily outlandish. Like, Lily trying to make a lame girl look hot by surrounding her with social interaction. This is real shit where people survive on their own. I'm all like, Lily, what is it? Is it the fact that, Lily, I didn't go to Lisa mentality? I started watching some Netflix shows, is it? And I thought, if that all has to do with dating, me, like, Lily, getting karate, me dating, me watching Netflix shows, all plays into the Lisa shit. And the Valentine's Day special especially plays into this shit because that destroys the gang. Especially, so I do that, but why was it the Lisa example? Because the same message could happen to multiple examples. Why was it that example? And I wonder why. It's because it was the Valentine's Day special. It wasn't Lisa, it was the Valentine's Day special. Do you know why? Because it proved him that I went all out. Not only did I beat him, and Lily, I'm like, is it because I beat the My Hero movie and Lily? And then I'm like, ding, 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 like a voice like Lily popped in her head, like, it had to be because of the My Hero movie. Lily, because I beat it, it's like, yes, it was definitely it, but it was more like in depth, and that was the main base. It was because I destroyed his message, and because I beat the My Hero movie, is why he hit me with a car, because his job is to say I'm not going all out in my life and stuff like that, and I beat an industry movie, Lily, with who I am as a person, and he knew that I gained those skills over time because Dodger and Bullet is professional fucking shit, and when you apply it to things like comic books and shit, Lily fucking, he knew it was an above average trait, and he knew that I spread it across, and he couldn't do anything, but he was worse is that I was in the situation of him, and I made big use out of it. So you know what Armando's real message behind that is because you beat the Valentine's special, but it's because I being with the things I learned. So his message is that you're hard-headed, and you being doing the things that you learned, you're at home just like fucking me, and instead of drawing something, instead of having a solid place to go in society, you work your way through the fucking problem. So yeah, you win, but I'm not gonna accept it because I didn't think like you. I didn't adapt to society in order to do shit like that. I'm not gonna accept you being the movie where fucking Pennsylvania, even though I know the full story. I'm gonna make sure this shit's simple so you understand why Stone has the advantage. I'm gonna make sure you have this and that, like Lily. I just thought it was because I beat the fucking movie. I didn't think that it was that in depth. No, it wasn't depth because it shows why she was wrong, but it also shows why they were wrong. It shows why so many people were wrong in that situation. It shows why they're wrong. Not only that she couldn't prove that I'm retarded, and not only that she couldn't fucking prove that I'm on social, not only that, it really showed them that Lily, if you're in my position, there's a lot that you can do about it, and there's a whole lot, like Lily. And plus, and you know what was worse? I applied game to it. I made sure that Lily, there was interactive, like Lily speech or talk. I made sure that it was okay for like multiple audiences. Lily, I did everything, every gaslight thing that a gangster could do, who couldn't say about the Valentine's Day special, right then and there. And so somebody said, you know why you got dumped? It's because of Lisa did. Not only did you move on to another one, you destroyed their philosophy as a whole. So what happened? So this is a very complex thing. So I won everything in Valentine's Day special. I got treated like shit. So guess what happened after I got my foot in the door? It was 10 years since I wrote my manga. It was really special dealing with the gang grill, my mom dealing with the ARL, Lily working on the Valentine's Day special. But Lily, what was the most craziest part about it is that it was outside my muscle memory. It was a groove that I had to get back into, so it was more strenuous. It was over a decade since I worked on Gabaya. The last piece of manga I worked was when I was a senior in high school. Ever since then, I forgot about making my manga completely, and Lily started getting into battle rap. Lily started learning how to become a celebrity. I forgot completely that I made my manga. But Lily, it's crazy as heck. So Lily, so when I did this and that, Lily, when I was struggling, Lily, and plus I had no tools of motivation that normally would give me motivation, even if I was trying to get back in the groove. Like I didn't have literally the drip. I had to make sure there was school uniform. I had to sort of this whole lot of shit. I made specific restrictions for myself, but because I stuck with those restrictions and because literally I set out is where I rose above. It was outstanding and it was really, really stressful. So guess what the arrow did? During the whole process, they knew the game wasn't getting through me, so they started to stop me themselves. Literally, so I had a playlist literally where I was listening to Japanese music while I would write my comic book. And literally, so Sabo, I knew Sabo was fucking stalking me, so he knew he couldn't stalk anything important. The arrow wanted to like hack my subs, wanted to hack my YouTube channel, but they know I have government protections. Guess what they did? They did just enough. Just like your person's hacking, you can't keep hacking. What Sabo did is he would play my playlist at a time when I was writing my manga. So I'm like, okay, Sabo, you see me working on my craft. I had no idea that he was still butthurt over Cat. I had no idea that he was still trying to bring me down, because I knew he gave up in the gang, but I didn't know that he didn't give up on stalking me. But I knew he gave up on stalking me for a while, to a point where literally fucking he knew he had to check up on me eventually. So when he checked up on me, he saw me listening to fucking J-pop or literally writing East Block and stuff like that. So he started comparing it to One Piece, right? So I started getting into a call, and Kulu starts talking about, man, they used to have crazy ass hand-to-hand fight back combat scenes in One Piece and stuff like that. They said really One Piece. They didn't say anything about my manga. They didn't even give a hint. It was like, yeah, I was there with One Piece had them action scenes and shit, stuff like that. They didn't say anything about hand-to-hand combat. They specifically said, I don't remember One Piece had them hand-to-hand combat and shit. Literally, you can't call it out if you're a little kid ever. You only can call it out if you just did the thing. And that's what made it kind of scary, but it wasn't because they weren't going to do shit about it. But at the same time, what happened was this. So Sabo literally, before I said about what he did to Cat, this all led up to what Sabo was doing to Cat, because you know what the arrow was trying to do is like, we're not gonna allow Riz to get rid of this anime hip hop things, because we know what anime was made for the rest. We knew that it was to support people with mental conditions and literally support their thing in society. I'm like, well, I don't see them support, I see them handicapping people, but not allowing them to live life, but allowing them to get away with fools and fake perspectives and shit. And so literally, the crazy thing about Sabo is that literally, he saw me watching it over and over and over again. So they tried to debate, so they tried to get Morgan. And so literally, they tried to tell Morgan, I had no idea this conversation was literally, we have to like figure out Rage to destroy like his manga and stuff, that because what keeps him literally from getting on people completely is that he has something original. And Eris is already known for taking other people's shit. Riz is already known for like taking fucking music for A&B's and shit. But this is the only thing that's original. Like literally, so literally, he's like, literally, we gotta learn how to copyright. He's like, are you fucking crazy? Me and my friends from the Dark End that already hashtagged it. Like literally, you should go already back to Kino's profile video. They hashtagged it specifically so nobody will copyright it right then and there. Like literally, is that like we have to let them know, like literally, from fucking the boomer fucking this and that. So what they did was literally, but Riz has to play this to everybody on the channel. It's like literally stuff that's literally, they kept on looking at their face. They started analyzing that more, like our whole point is we're gonna outpoint Riz. We're gonna point out, because literally, because there were people who were already comparing it by the raw files alone. When I was working on the papers alone, they were comparing it to Heroes Rising already. They were already comparing it to My Hero movie alone. That's with the fucking paper alone without me uploading it. And I already told them I was gonna compare it and I was gonna upload it. And so what they did was, so the arrow started to prepare for it. It's like, bro, we're gonna take Riz's route. Instead of saying that, like, we're gonna be realistic. When he's not up, we say we should stop being gay. We're gonna be like, there's no way you can beat My Hero because of animation alone. I'm like, are you that stupid, Sabo? Are you, do you really think that literally that I was gonna present like literally a fucking manga movie in a way that's like normal mangas? Literally, and plus I know that was the first manga movie ever invented. That's how much I know about anime. That was the first manga movie ever invented. Everybody started mangas, nobody ever thought of a manga movie. To present a manga movie with no music is absolutely dreadful, Sabo. So he took this route. He's like, bro, we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait for him to figure out. We're gonna know how full of shit people are. And they thought that literally, this is what a virgin versus a non-virgin thinks. I'm the non-virgin and they're all virgins thinking literally. So we're gonna take his route. So Sabo pretended to be calm, cool, and collect like he normally does. It's gonna be like, since he's gonna upload it, we're gonna see the still ass music and we're gonna attack it. We're gonna be like, there's no music. Your drawing needs to improve. So therefore, all those little tricks that make you into the MV, he's not gonna be able to use. So literally, we'll be able to have our side. We'll be able to take his side for a moment and say, literally, even though you did have better writing, even though you did this and that, you make sure it wasn't visually appealing, which was why you gave me a reason to leave. Literally, stuff that literally, and that is a part of literature. You're supposed to make sure that the audience is kept. But if it's made for a specific audience, then they have to recognize what audience is for. So guess what Sabo did? Sabo gave it a rundown, like literally, fucking literally, he has this, that, but he has profile pictures of this, and the people are already uploading screenshots in Japan. What do you mean you got copyright his manga and stuff like that? So like, there was still one character that wasn't confirmed for that Valentine's Day special, and his name was Boomer, and stuff like that. So they already had the perspective of that. I'm like, you guys are so fucking stupid. Why do you think I get girls? Literally, like eating pizza pockets so fucking they are actually fucking working out. Like literally, this is fucking crazy. Like literally, you have to understand, literally, what was going on in the air world was ungodly fucking stupid, even for fucking common sense, because they thought I was gonna upload that shit plain. Now I gotta do everything with style. What makes it different from any other upload? Literally fucking. And even if you do your homework, the original fucking manga that I wrote, Nas chapter 1 on the playlist had music. Why wouldn't this one? So not only did I fucking pan and zoom doing the shit that I learned in graphic and design, I learned all that shit in 2D animation class back when I was doing a class with Stephanie back in my old high school. I learned how to pan and zoom. So not only did I pan and zoom, I added music. So it destroyed stuff on the aerial view completely, like literally, because they thought they were gonna attack on the fact that it was just a manga, nothing else. And no matter how hard I went in, it was an animation versus a manga, and Cat was still on by the time. Like, Riz probably took a stupid attack to give me an opening instead of that, and literally he tried staying back and pretending to be calm, cool, collect, but after I uploaded it, after I destroyed everything, it destroyed Sabo. And that's where after months on end, he tried stalking me after the gang had no chance, after I got done dealing with Stone, literally and stuff that, and all his perfect reverse psychology, he must be exhausted for yo, he got Stone, this and that, and literally when he came across him like, yo, you won the battle, and I got Cat. It's even. It destroyed him. That was after it overanalyzed their Valentine special. Their input was incredible. Really, and then it came down to Rim's Island. They still have one hope. We still have hope for Boomer. And then I uploaded Boomer shit. I'm like, I didn't even know you're thinking like that. And the whole, what pisses me off even more, if I knew you were thinking that hard, I would have stopped you sooner. But because you're so weak and because you couldn't execute that plan, it really pissed me off. Like, I wasn't even thinking about you copyright Boomer. I was paranoid about it partially, but I did it for my own safety. I did it for a company issue, not thinking specifically for the air raw. I was thinking for Jiro. Like, I didn't get Boomer because he's an important character, not because he fucking literally is the fucking ace in the hole. No, he's a part of the series. He's a part piece of the family, dude. I'm fucking done with this shit. Literally, and they thought it was over, but then I uploaded music and pan and zoom, and then I did this thing with Boomer, so their perspective was gone. And this all comes back to the original mentality. It's because I have a life, it's because you guys are purposely focused on shit that you know you can't control, is why you ended up this way. And that was the process of the Valentine's Day special.